Up next, the Warriors taking on the Kings. For Golden State, ranked 10th in the Western Conference, not what they'd hoped for. Presently outside the playoff picture, but certainly playing for pride. Kings, Warriors is coming up next, and we'll be right back. Greetings, everyone. You've got it live on Tuesday night coverage of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Tim Legler, along with our reporter, Allie LaForce. And let's check out a breakdown looking at some of the stats for Brandon Podziemski.
And you can see the surge in his level of confidence lately just by looking at the true shooting percentage. It's been moving straight up in the past 5 games. I think he's feeling it.
Now Sacramento starting 5. Achua is out there at the Rosen. Then there's Russell Westbrook. It's Clifford at the 2 spot. And for the Warriors, DeAnthony Melton out there with Stephen Curry. Then there's Draymond Green. And there's Porzingis. And it's Santos in at the small forward. Greg, no secret that these teams don't like each other. Could things get a little chippy tonight?
It would not surprise me at all, Kevin. These teams, not only fierce rivals, but there's a little bit of animosity for one another. Throw in the fact that both these teams play in the same conference. Yeah, I'd say the spirits might be high tonight.
Here's DeRozan, and the dunk by DeRozan.
The flush, DeMar getting up.
Pass to Santos. Now Melton. Green with a screen for Melton. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. With the drive.
And he slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? Curry deciding where to go with it. Green in the post. Covered by Achua.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Count that one.
Getting aggressive inside. DeRozan refuses to waste that opportunity.
And the Warriors off to a slow start here. 6-point game. It's a victory here for the home team last time these guys met.
Not a close contest either the last time they got together. Everyone in the rotation played solid, and the bench was the difference.
And it means they will go deep into their bench again. It worked in the last matchup. Might as well spread more minutes around.
Now Westbrook, after the missed 3 from Stephen Curry. DeRozan's shot is off. Into his mid-30s, the veteran DeMar DeRozan holding up well, Greg.
And such a consistent presence for his team. DeMar plays at his own speed, and he has mastered the art of the mid-range.
Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Pass to Clifford. It's DeRozan top of the key. Another miss by DeRozan. Golden State's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Outside, Green. Here's Porzingis. Fades away. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
Well, not the start they were looking for, but they finally got their first field goal.
Outside DeRozan. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Count that bucket.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Warriors trail by 6. Curry kicks to Green. Pass to Porzingis. Golden State moving the ball around. On the wing, Melton. 3-pointer. Sacramento grabs the miss. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
Yeah, a snowball effect in that one. One thing would go wrong, then another, then another. Really the story of the game.
Well, let's give their opponent some credit for sensing that and putting him away. They were completely dominated.
DeRozan's shot is good.
And by no means a volume 3-point shooter. DeRozan barely takes threes compared to most wings in the league.
Kept alive. Pass to Santos. Fires for 3. No good.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
Well, the score reflects it. They've just been the better team all the way around.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for Curry. Averaging about 27 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And guys, he can just explode for points anytime he steps on the court.
You want to be a successful team in this league, you need to find someone that you can feed the ball to and count on to score.
Now, here's Melton. Scoreless thus far.
Well, that's Curry doing what he does best, doing damage from the outside.
And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And now let's swing it over to Allie LaForce on the sideline.
I had a chance to catch up with Steve Kerr. I asked how you counter a player with DeMar DeRozan's versatile scoring. We're putting a close sign on the mid-range tonight, Coach joked, adding, we're going to be very tight in that area defensively and not give him what he wants. Sounds like DeMar is in for an uphill battle tonight. Back to you, Kevin.
We appreciate it, Allie. Thank you. Here's Curry, following the basket by Russell Westbrook.
Well, if there's one guy in this league, you better run off the three-point line, it's Curry.
In GA, we know Coach Steve Kerr has been up front. In order to win, the Warriors need to take and make a lot of threes.
Well, it's the superpower of their best player, and the arrival of Jimmy Butler has provided some balance, but threes are still their best bet. Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Yeah, they've just been the better team. They've been more aggressive, which is why they hold a double-digit lead.
Here's Clifford. His last outing, he had 18 points. Pass to DeRozan. And they call an illegal screen here. While we have a moment here, let's see which teams have scored the most second-chance points since the All-Star break. The Warriors, 4th.
Not many will go after it on the offensive boards the way they do. I mean, and particularly since the break, they have really made teams pay on the inside.
Payton, he's checked in for Golden State. Podziemski's coming in for Melton. Green with a screen on Monk. Here's Curry with the three. A three-pointer is right on target. Curry's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Honestly, guys, Curry is the best three-point shooter I've ever seen.
DeRozan against Payton. Got a piece of it. And Curry has it in the corner. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Curry's got 12 in the game.
Well, he is doing everything he can offensively in this quarter, but unfortunately, it's a team game, and he can't win this alone.
There's a screen. Here's DeRozan over Payton. DeRozan's shot is good. He's got 11.
And another bucket for him. What a quarter he has had.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with them.
Here to see some numbers for Payton. He showed up every night and some noteworthy performances over the last month. And he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
And back to his phenomenal efficiency from 3, top 10 in the league. His consistent shooting creates so many openings in the defense. Here's Podziemski. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Houston. It's up a 3, and Curry the bucket on the assist from Payton.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Here's DeRozan, and DeRozan throws it down hard.
And that's the athleticism. When DeRozan takes off like that, he is looking to ring the bell.
I've always admired the impact that Steph Curry, Tim, has made on this game, and not only at this level, but at every level. With that in mind, do shooters train differently in part because of him?
Yeah, I believe they do, Kevin, but you've got to beware. This is a guy that's often imitated, rarely replicated. He is so special, but I think guys need to add escape dribbles, the sidestep dribble, and certainly deep shooting off the dribble. That's where Steph Curry has impacted the modern shooter.
That's good advice. So, GA, when you think about Steph Curry's legacy, he changed the way the NBA game is played.
Man, it is hard to find a player who's had the impact of a Steph Curry, making us rethink what is possible. Curry's endless range has really inspired a generation.
Back to Peyton. Peyton with the screen for Curry. Golden State moving the ball around. Shot clock at 5. Puts up a deep 3. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And so it's Carter who brings the ball up for the Sacramento Kings. They lead by 4. He gets it in there.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Curry with it. He's got 17. Here's the 3. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Sacramento with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And what do you guys think about the Kings here in this one so far?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Had a feeling this was going to be their strategy coming in. They've got a major size advantage to be able to execute this.
On the court for the Kings as the second quarter gets underway. We've got Doug McDermott. Monk is out there with Carter. And it's Plowden in at the 3 slot. Monk, no one around him. Whoops, they pick off the pass. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. The shot by Peyton, no good.
Well, the defense challenged him just enough to force that miss. They really collapsed when he got close to the rim.
And Brandon Pajemski gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
And it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
And the Kings making a change here. Baldwin's checked in. Warriors on D. They trail by 6. No good on the triple. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Inside. It's rebounded by Baldwin. Sacramento's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. To the middle. Powered down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
To the paint. Here's Post. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
They will take that shot every time down the floor if they could. It's just great execution.
We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
Thanks, guys. Malik Monk is a key player for the Kings. He said, coming to the organization, I felt like I could bring an energy that Sac had been waiting for, and it's a comfortable fit. Coming here slows everything down. I can just focus on my crafted hand, and it's been working for me. Back to you guys.
He's played great for him. All right, Allie, thank you for the report. 4 on the shot clock. A clear look for Monk, and the Kings check on 2 more.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Hey, Greg, they dropped the interim tag for Doug Christie, as he's now the permanent head coach of the Kings.
Well, we'll have to see how permanent that is. The 5th head coach in the last 7 years. That seat is always in Sacramento.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
It looked like a let-up from the team in the lead.
And Doug Christie wants a timeout. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. And the Kings making a change here. And we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, his impact on the glass is drifting downward. Sometimes as a player, your focus shifts. You redirect your energy toward other phases of the game. And that could be what's happening here. But obviously, it's a bit of a concern going forward.
Here's Clifford. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. This one for three. Sacramento again missing. Warriors trail by 6. Here's Bassett. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam.
There's such a dual threat offensively. Curry can be the finisher, or he can create like he did there.
Now, here's Monk. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Here's Achua. Now, here's Monk. G right on him. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. So, Tim, here's a word you often hear teams talk about, and that's culture. How does an organization create the right culture?
Well, I think, Kevin, you establish core values and then you make those non-negotiable. When everybody connects with that and connects to those values, you really have something special.
Holding on to the rope and pulling in the same direction.
That's what it's all about.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both. Tim, some forget, prior to the success of Stephen Curry, the Warriors were not considered a top-tier franchise.
Well, before he arrived in 2009, this was one of the lowest all-time winning percentages, but they have built a dynasty, and they are now considered one of the most valuable franchises in all of sports.
Now, here's Monk. Again, the miss by the Kings.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Curry's shot is off.
Well, the defense was solid, but usually I expect him to make that layup.
They set the pick. Takes a step back. Here's DeRozan, and he banks in the layup. DeRozan's got 4 this quarter.
And you have to love how multi-layered DeRozan's game is. Such a fantastic score.
Pass to Melton. Golden State moving the ball around. Curry outside. Rebound by the Kings. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
And after that great first quarter from three-point range, he has finally come back to earth.
Shoots from the right block, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. The Kings have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Taking 2 shots.
The first one falls. Porzingis is checked in for the Warriors. Draymond Green comes in for Brandon Pajemski. And a change for Sacramento. Russell Westbrook in for Malik Monk. That one misses.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
One of the best defenders of his generation. Tim, do you think Draymond Green will be a surefire Hall of Famer?
Well, he's a former Defensive Player of the Year, and not to mention a key contributor on 4 Warriors championship teams. Kevin, he will be in the Hall of Fame, no question.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Melton passes to Porzingis in low. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Kings leading now by 9. It's DeRozan with the drive. Here's Clifford. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. DeRozan's got 3 assists tonight. And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or 2.
Looking now at some numbers for DeRozan. He's definitely been getting it done since the All-Star break. He's right around 17 points a night, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you look at the numbers he's been putting up, fantastic scoring production from him.
Well, they have leaned on him offensively, and he has provided points pretty much every time they've needed him.
Now here's Curry. We saw him with 29 points last game. Good on the 3-point shot.
And we've seen this so many times. A hot start by Curry, and once he gets rolling like this, there's not much the defense can do.
Westbrook, no good. Last outing for Golden State was a loss to the Rockets. Got a piece of it, and stolen by Achua. For the finish, and the jam by DeRozan.
And guys, I just love watching DeRozan work in the open floor. So good at leaking out and converting.
Now here's Curry. He's got 20.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Pass to Westbrook. And he uses the glass on the layup. Westbrook's got the lead up to 13 now for the Kings.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Green slams it in.
Okay, Draymond showing you he can still get up. Do not sleep on Draymond's hops.
Westbrook drives in. The Warriors pull it in. Green's got his 5th rebound in this one. Elton kicks to Green. Pass to Porzingis. Shoots over Achua. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Kristaps Porzingis. Here's Clifford. Back to Westbrook. In the hoop for his 4th field goal. 4 for 7 shooting and looking for more.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Curry outside. Curry from 3.
And once again, the defense allowing him to get a clean look at that triple. He continues to do some big-time damage from downtown.
And there are the Kings with another bucket.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
Outside, Green. Pass to Curry. Green with a screen on Westbrook. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
Very important triple there at the buzzer. That halftime deficit looks a lot more manageable when it's in single digits.
And so it's DeMar DeRozan making highlights for the Sacramento Kings. It's been an excellent game for him offensively. He's got 21 points and counting. Now let's check in with Allie LaForce on the sideline. What do you have for us, Allie?
Thanks a lot, guys. Head coach Steve Kerr here with us now. Coach, what do you want to see from this team in the second half?
Well, we got to make some stops and get a little traction in this game. I mean, we fell behind right away, and so let's make a push the first 4 or 5 minutes, get back in the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Allie, thank you for that interview. And now we're at halftime, and we'll be back to bring you more basketball after this.
It's time for your fan half-court shots. Please direct your attention to center court. Drum roll. They're measuring up the shot. Nice try. Give it up for the participants.
Hey, everybody. Psst. I got a secret. We're approaching the playoffs, and we are starting the show with a breakdown of the Western Conference standings.
Checking out the Kings. They've wanted this to be a turnaround season. They have a few building blocks, but the roster construction is not complete. This front office has some tough decisions to make.
And now let's check out the game at hand. It was a solid first half effort for the Sacramento Kings.
They're moving at a high speed. When they get in space, they really push the pace. Makes them hard to keep up with.
Yeah, several times the defense couldn't get back. That created all sorts of mismatches.
Thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to Kevin Harlan for the second half tip.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
Yeah, something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Well, this team has trusted him with this level of responsibility, and it's easy to see why.
And it's Curry with the ball, bringing it up for Golden State. 7-point differential. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. That'll be the final game of this 5-game homestand. Green is out there with Porzingis. Then it's DeAnthony Melton. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Santos in at the small forward. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. And from technical fouls, 10 to flagrant fouls, it always seems like Draymond Green is walking that line and in the crosshairs.
Walking that line or stomping on that line. I don't know what, but it's where he seems to want to live. You love that competitive fire. You just have to make sure it doesn't cross the line where he hurts his team.
But don't you think he knows exactly what he's doing at all times?
He understands most officials don't want to give him that second technical, that's for sure.
And here is Green, following the three-pointer by DeMar DeRozan. Just 5 to shoot. Curry shot is off.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
There's the 3. Clifford can't get it to go. Warriors trail by 7. Here's Green. It's hauled in by Achua.
Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Can't believe he missed that. Looked like a loss of focus.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Porzingis sets the pick for Curry. Trains it from beyond the arc. Curry's got 29.
On the offensive end, Curry both prolific and efficient.
And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, the Kings last season traded for Zach LaVine, and he said, quote, "I've been a fan for a long time, knowing how incredible these fans are each and every game. A Tuesday night, it's still going to be packed in here. People pull for their team, and I don't take it for granted." Back to you, Kevin.
Tremendous support. Hey, Allie, thank you very much for the report. Now Curry, following the three-point attempt by DeRozan. Good, another from 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
Westbrook dishes to DeRozan from the stripe. Nice spin off the left rim and in. He's got 26.
Well, that's helping your team. By and large, he's taking shots he knows he can make.
Melton passes to Santos. Takes a 3. Curry can't get it to go. Kings leading now by 5. To the inside. Back to DeRozan. Count it. Good. DeRozan's got 7 now in this quarter.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Green with a screen on Westbrook. Curry dishes to Green. And stolen by Achua. And now the Kings, fast break. Stops. Pops. Second chance shot. And it's good on the layup. Achua's got his first 2 points of the night.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Curry kicks to Melton. Out that one, and the Kings' lead has been cut back down to 7 after the points coming from Stephen Curry.
And it just doesn't matter where Curry is on the court with that kind of touch.
Down low. Porzingis with the block. Melton finds Green. Outside Curry. Shoots the 3. Good. Great play by Green to set it up. And now just a 4-point Kings lead. Here's DeRozan. That's good from 17 feet away. DeRozan's got 30.
So dangerous off the bounce. DeRozan with the top-notch pull-up game.
Golden State moving the ball around. Pass to Santos. Now Curry. For the 3. And the Warriors, another 3.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Back to Westbrook. There's the triple. And it's DeRozan missing. Warriors trail by 3. Porzingis kicks to Green. Curry passes to Green. Back to Curry. Here's Santos. DeRozan defending. And And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And it goes on Draymond Green.
And I like the aggressiveness of DeMar DeRozan's game. He's constantly testing the defense, looking for any weakness he can exploit to get a bucket.
And he makes the first. Tim, I can hear it in my head right now. You've called Steph Curry must-see TV. Does anyone from this next generation maybe approach that description for you?
Well, Kevin, certainly Victor Wembanyama would be at the top of that list. You're talking about a one-off when you combine that size with that particular skill set. And then Anthony Edwards would be another guy because of the explosiveness and excitement that he brings every single night.
It'll be exciting to see this next generation and see if they do impact it like the ones before, for sure.
And Draymond is smart at knowing when to shoot the ball, especially when he's got strong position inside.
Outside DeRozan. And here's Westbrook from the arc. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
Well, he's a guy they look to go to, and now you see why.
And so Steve Kerr tries to call a timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. Some changes for Golden State. Payton comes in for Draymond Green. And it's Brandon Podziemski in for Stephen Curry. Now, here's Melton. No scoring in this one. Here's Santos. No good with the layup.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
And that was almost a block. Still did enough to alter the shot.
He didn't quite get a hand on it, but he did enough to affect the miss.
Yeah, textbook positioning there for Porzingis. Once he's established it, he's going to have the advantage and able to finish that one above the rim.
Monk outside. Back to Westbrook. Pass to Clifford. That's 3-pointers off the mark.
Nothing going his way this quarter offensively. Time to recalibrate.
Go into the rack with energy. And the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
Well, defensively, you can't allow that in a game this close.
Back to Westbrook. Monk outside. Takes it off the glass.
You got to appreciate just the presence of mind there. Monk demonstrating solid court awareness by finding the open man.
Podziemski with it. He's covered by Westbrook. To the inside. They swipe it. To the middle. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Now it's a 6-point Kings lead.
And just look how naturally Westbrook creates for his guys. An effective use of the pick and roll there.
For 3, Clifford pulls it in. Clifford's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Inside, Achua, the pass to Westbrook.
And one thing about Westbrook, he does not have a quiet presence. You know he's out there at every moment, and his production speaks volumes.
It's his first trip to the line. That one is off. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. Outside, Payton. Pass to post. Back to Curry. 3-pointer. And again for 3.
And this parade of threes has no end in sight. He just keeps knocking them down.
Oh, and that latest triple ties him for second for the most threes in a game. What a monster he's been from deep.
And it's a 4-way tie now. Himself, Curry, Zach LaVine, and Dame Lillard.
And so it's DeMar DeRozan making highlights for the Sacramento Kings. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. We've got more in store for you right after this. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Yeah, so impressive for a big guy to make a find like a guard.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. On the floor for Sacramento, we've got Carter, also Monk out there, and it's DeRozan in at the 4. Uses the glass to finish the layup. DeRozan's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Size, athleticism, and an airtight handle make DeRozan a problem.
Back to Curry. Launches a 3. Connects again from distance.
And of course it falls for him. That 3 pushes him into the history book.
Well, he is now tied for the most threes in a game. This is a night we will never forget.
He passed Curry's high a little earlier, and now he's matched Clay's mark. Didn't think we'd see a show like this coming into tonight, but here we are.
Now here's Curry. Good! Another from 3.
And that is a 3 that will put him in the record book.
A historic performance by a historically good shooter. One of the best games anybody has ever had.
And Klay Thompson viewed as one of the best shooters ever to play this game. Hard to believe that the mark of 14 made threes has been passed here this evening.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Doug Christie said to his team. He told the guys to stay after it inside. He said our play inside is terrific right now. He said don't lose any of that intensity. Stay strong down there. It's always nice to hear a coach enjoying his team's play. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you. Now here is Carter. Outside DeRozan. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
To the paint, here's Post. To the inside. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And a late second-round pick, but Tim Quinton Post showing he can contribute.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a true 7-footer, and he has proven he is more than comfortable shooting it from the three-point line. He is a proven NBA player.
And the Warriors making a change here. Green's checked in. He hits the second from the line.
Well, they had a chance to take the lead, but at least he tied it up.
Payton against DeRozan. Off target with his 3. Golden State's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Post finds Curry. Curry on the wing. Trying to find Podziemski. Gets it to him. Yep, that one goes in there. Podziemski's got the lead up to 2 now for the Warriors.
And that was the right call. When you need a basket, go to the guys you trust the most.
Yeah, when you're coming down the stretch, you don't want any wasted possession.
High quality look, and he sinks it. DeRozan's got it all tied up now for Sacramento.
Always a consistent scorer, but DeRozan's work on his J has made him a perennial all-star.
It's Curry outside. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 4th assist in this one. And here's DeRozan. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
Their accuracy in this one has just been on another level. I mean, the 3-ball keeps falling, and the defense just hasn't been able to run them off the line.
And I've also been very impressed with their ball movement. It has led to better shots. The offense overall has had a great rhythm.
And it's DeRozan with the ball for Sacramento. And DeRozan throws it down hard.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. And the Warriors with possession here. Sacramento making their last shot. They kick it out to Green. The three. Again, what an avalanche.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. A wide open look here for DeRozan. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Green with a screen on Westbrook. Lobbed up there for Green. And stolen by Achua. To take the lead. It's not going to go for him. Golden State's gotten in the groove from three-point range. They are 4 for 4 since the third quarter ended. DeRozan, Porzingis with the block.
And there was a time when Porzingis was good for several rejections at the rim like that per game. Most would-be scorers have learned that about him.
And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Kings?
I like their defense today, and we don't talk about that side of the ball enough. You can really change a game when you get a bunch of steals and get out in transition.
And I also really like the pace they've played with in this one, specifically how high tempo it's been, clearly working to their advantage so far.
And we've seen this before, folks. Big possession, Westbrook rising to the occasion. How about that competitiveness?
Here's Santos. Stephen Curry. Curry with the three at the other end.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
No good there. And here's Melton. He'll bring it up for the Warriors. The lead is 2. For 3. And another one falls.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. Now, here's DeRozan. Porzingis with the block.
And just fast off the floor to challenge shots. Porzingis, this helps him get a lot of blocks like that. If you came to watch a scoring battle, you're in the right place.
We thought this might be the case coming in. Not a lot of defense out there right now.
DeRozan, count it.
And this is why you go to DeRozan. When they need a bucket, he's a guy that can go out and get it.
Now here's Curry. Fires the three. Knocks down the three.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
This defense is trying to stay connected to him, but he is on a mission.
Here's DeRozan. 1:32 left in the fourth quarter.
And DeRozan has mastered the art of the pump fake. He's been doing it for years, and people still buy it.
At the line for the Kings, DeMar DeRozan, 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
He hits the first one, and that narrows the gap to 7. DeMar DeRozan hits them both.
Crucial that he converts those shots. They've got to keep eating away at the lead.
Now Porzingis. Oh, that is a big-time jam.
And really the story of this second half, one team getting the shots they want, the other not so much.
And that's just good coaching. They have made the better adjustments.
Here's DeRozan following the score by Golden State.
How about the heart DeRozan plays with? In the clutch, he's fully committed to getting his team whatever they need.
Here's Santos. Outside Curry. Green. Oh, the layup finish off an excellent lead pass.
Beautiful look right there. Led his man perfectly.
DeRozan inside. Layup no good. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal.
No question. That would be all she wrote.
Westbrook against Curry. Outside DeRozan. Good, he hits again. That gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
He must have visualized this one because everything is falling.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. Let's see the connected cam angle on that stunning play brought to you by AT&T. They can more or less wrap it up right here.
This has to be a very smart possession.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Well, there's no debate that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, but I also think he deserves to be in the conversation when you talk about the greatest ball handlers this league has seen.
And Sacramento has possession. DeRozan, strong move off the glass. And so they foul intentionally.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So both free throws are good. It's an 8-point game. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They trail by 8. That is what you're taking.
And a little late to implement a plan B. This game is a wrap.
Well, you're going to have to play this out, take pride in every possession because they are critical at this point.
And if you go over the course of his career, DeRozan has increased his trips to the line. I mean, thanks in large part to getting more aggressive offensively.
DeMar DeRozan at the line for 2.
It's the first, and that narrows the gap to 7. He's perfect from the line this time. And they go to the intentional foul.
Russell Westbrook, 3rd personal foul, 5th team foul.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They're behind by 8. Guys, your thoughts?
Trying to keep hope alive, but I don't see them making a comeback.
I can't wait to see what they draw up here and who they decide to go to.
DeRozan fires, hits it again. Wow!
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Teams in the power.
Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 7-point game. And good. There's another.
And never in the history of the franchise have we seen a game like this. He's putting on a remarkable performance.
It's their all-time single-game scoring record. Their fans will be reliving this game for a long, long time. So it's a narrow victory for the Warriors, pulling out the W. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but in the end, everyone's satisfied.
I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on, but let's give this group a lot of credit for that stick-to-itiveness in terms of finishing out and executing that game plan.
And now, let's send it over to Allie LaForce, standing by with our player of the game. Allie, take it away.
Stephen, a slow start. Did something feel different for you in the second half?
No, just made some shots. It's really the best explanation I got for you. We got challenged at halftime in terms of getting a little edge around what we were trying to accomplish tonight. It took us a while to really gain momentum in this game.
Well, the adjustments paid off. Congrats on the win.
As always, Allie, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, I'm Kevin Harlan. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. But first, let's reveal our player of the game, Stephen Curry.